Welcome to the Grief City podcast. I'm your host, Nuella, and this is another episode of Griefy Tips because a little support can go a long way.
Welcome to Grief City.
Here is today's Griefy tip. Stepping outside of our grief echo chamber can be part of healing. Something that I really love about the grief education and resources that's out there is that it really helps encourage a griever to feel their grief and to experience it. Because in a world where, even though everyone experiences death in some capacity in their lives, we are still pretty illiterate as humans. Because I just think until we experience it, there's just what do we do with this? How do we talk about this? How do we approach this? It's a tough thing. And when you're experiencing loss for the first time, I think one of the most freeing things is someone giving you permission to feel it and to fully immerse yourself in the grief. But something that I think we lack in grief communities and spaces is talking about how important it also is to get outside of our grief echo chamber. And I'm not trying to make that sound harsh or bad, but I think when we are so overwhelmed with our grief, it just becomes all consuming for us. And sometimes I would say sometimes it can become very selfish because we're just enveloped in our grief and our emotions, and we're not really aware of everything going on around us. And there is a lot of benefit, though, when we step outside of that and we experience life or have experiences outside of just us and our grief and our emotions. If you've been listening to the Grief City podcast long enough, you know I am a huge advocate of sit with your grief, sit with this stuff. And when I say sit with it, I mean literally let yourself feel it, journal about it, cry it out, talk to a friend about it, let it I think it's so vital that we allow ourselves to feel the weight of the grief because we have to really experience this is really this bad and acknowledge it. And I think that acknowledgement is so important in healing. But I also think it's very, very important to get outside of our grief to heal as well. Because we are so much more than just our grief. There is so much life to experience still. There's so much good around us, and we're never going to see that good around us if we don't get outside of our echo chamber. Because grief is it's really good at clouding our judgment. It's really good at blinding us to a lot of things that are going on around us. It's really good at making us believe certain things that everything about life is bad now. There's never anything good coming for me kind of stuff. So sit with your grief, but also it's important that we get self-aware enough to realize that maybe this is a little unhealthy and maybe I need to also reach out to people. Maybe I need to go try a new hobby out. Maybe I need to go take a walk with a friend. Maybe I need to on a Friday night, instead of sitting inside and sobbing, maybe I actually need to go out to dinner or just go do something, even if it hurts, even if it's hard, even if you don't want to. There is healing that happens when we get outside of our grief. I know that sounds kind of complex and maybe it doesn't make sense, but yeah, sit with your grief. That is an important part of healing and growing and learning how to move forward with your grief. But also get outside of your grief a little bit. because you need to have experiences outside of it to be reminded that, like, there's still joy, there's still peace around you, there's still people that wanna invest in your life, there's still, like, so much beauty to experience. So do both. Both are so vital to us.